We are on Echo, and up here on the top left-hand corner of the map, playing for this winner's awesome match to make it to the round of 8. He is from My Insanity, PengWin.
And his opponent is going to be down here in the bottom right. Also having come here through a 2-0, he is Brawl Esports Yellow Protoss player, Zeal. And
he's opting for the old gateway expand, so not going for the quick nexus or anything.
Good old traditionalist here. And with the probe scout, of course, he's going to have a good handle on what PengWin's doing. PengWin actually going for the hatch before, pool before hatch, actually. So yeah, that's a little bit. No, actually, I changed my mind. Actually, that's pretty standard in PvZ. It does put you at a little bit less risk of any kind of proxy gates, cannon rushes, any of the many shenanigans that Protoss can pull out to just ruin your day if you do go for that slightly greedy early hatch. And then the 4 lanes, very much the standards to scout around the map for pylons, scout the Protoss base, just keep them a little bit honest, stop them going 3 nexus before gate. But yeah, all looking pretty, shaping up to be a normal game so far. Yeah.
Yep, nothing too wacky or anything just yet. Double gas, though, coming from Zeal. Actually, that is a little bit unusual, particularly given that there is no cybercore yet. So that's quite an aggressive gas-taking policy that he's going with here.
Yeah, very early gases. He does have that probe over by the 3rd base. I don't really think that's a great proxy position. It's
I can't imagine.
And obviously, there's actually the Overlord right over it that saw it. But actually, PengWin is going to kill off a probe and force out the pylon there, which will have cancelled. These 4 lanes are being really, really annoying, and he's actually going to get inside the main base with them as well. So he's going to see just how much gas Zeal is committing to, and that's a big, big scout.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, this shows you that something is off. It's hopefully he does at least click on the gas, but even just having 2 right now is a bit of a tell, because he just saw that the cybercore just finished. So you'd have to know they were going for a while.
Yeah, and PengWin has a few, or he's just building a couple more drones, lings even, to scout around the map. He has lost a few with the scout inside the main base, so he needs to keep on making sure there aren't any pylons coming down for Zeal, because likely these lings are all going to die as they leave the base. No, one of them's... Nope. Okay. But yeah, now PengWin taking his first gases. He's been really pumping his econ, even in the face of all this gas that Zeal has been putting out. And yeah, this actually could end up coming out to bite him as Zeal just moves out with the Zealot Stalker and Mothership Core. This is actually going to be pretty difficult for PengWin to hold. He's got 3 queens out, no plans on building any more yet, and without speed, without roaches or anything. This is actually going to be a pretty tough little push to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, there won't be a ton behind it or anything, but could definitely get a little damage done.
Yeah, it's gonna get this Overlord, and obviously PengWin's having to build quite a few slow links here. The supply block, this is hurting him so much. There's not an Overlord on the way, and having just lost the Overlord, PengWin's he's so far off being able to do anything out of this. I'm not even sure if he should have let that hatch finish. Like, he's got 6 lings and a handful of queens to deal with this. 3 overlords are kind of just now starting. And he's just going to have to kind of rely on the power of queens to push this back, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. This is a pretty decent surround. If he can pick off that stalker, that'll be a big win, but it's not going to be able to manage
the Zealot,
And this queen off creep, it's got a little bit kind of room to go around, but it's so low on health now that it's going to go down, and that's tough. But Zeal, I guess, kind of feels like he's got enough done. He doesn't want to hang around until speed is finished, and he doesn't actually know anything about the speed timing. So he's going to back on off.
Yeah, he got his damage done. You don't want to overstay your welcome. He could have recalled if you had to, but you want that for overcharge or something later as well. Lings will make their way across. Speed is not really that close to being done.
Yeah, now, yeah, as you mentioned, Zeal doesn't have much behind this, and there's a bunch of sentries, but they're not really in position here. I don't... Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I actually didn't think that Zeal was going to wall it all off. But some good force fields are going to deny these lings. The slow lings, it's much easier to force field against. PengWin went in a couple seconds full speed here, and so he actually loses every single Zergling. I don't think he takes out any of Zeal's units. This is not a good start at all here for our minus Senti Zerg player.
No, absolutely the case. I mean, you don't want to be 9 minutes in. It's it wasn't even worth. Yeah, I think he realized where it was, and 9 minutes in, the Protoss has a 10 worker advantage over you. That's not where you want to be at all.
Here we are now on Coda, and up in the top left. A yellow Protoss looks to be changing up a little bit with a Forge Fast expand from his last game. Representing Brawl Esports, we have Zeal.
And his opponent, who is sending out a drone scout this time as well, from my insanity, it is PengWin. And yeah, I feel this is a slightly better map for this Forge expand. The choke's just a bit smaller. You got the debris taking up a little bit of the room as well, so it's just a bit easier to get this off.
Is it actually a smaller choke? It kind of looks larger to me.
I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, you're the Protoss player. I'm assuming you know your walls.
Yeah. Like I don't tend to. The other thing with it, this is photon overcharge where it can reach to. So the other one's a bit farther away, so the far end of it is not covered, and that's a really big thing when you wall.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, that makes a lot of sense as well. The disadvantage, though, actually having that debris in the wall, it's a point that you can Baneling bust through. It's a weak spot that's not going to regen shields as well. So that is kind of a point. Zeal's wall is actually very Baneling bustable. I know it's not something you see very often in ZVP, but somebody I used to go cast a lot with has a big bee in his bonnet about Baneling bust in ZVP. So he always goes like, oh, the pylon and the Zealot and the debris. Oh, God, the Baneling bust is going to be terrible. But that's very likely not something going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is still a possibility, but you don't see it as much. Usually, like, if you get a sentry or two out, which you're going to have probably, then that can, in a good player's hands, that kind of shuts it. But
you're paying attention.
Yeah, which hopefully they would be. But PengWin is taking his third hatchery here now. So and that's the thing. When you see the Forge Fast, obviously you know they can't do anything aggressive for X amount of time, so you can go ahead and get your economy up too. And that's exactly what PengWin's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, you know you're safe when you see that Forge expand until like about 7 minutes at the earliest, realistically. Maybe 6:30 if they do something a bit funky. But yeah, I mean, why not just get that third hatch up? The faster you get it up, the safer it is in those sort of counterintuitive senses where you get that creep spread, you get the production from it to actually make units to hold it. You get that 3-base saturation really, really quickly without any kind of harassment coming down as Zerg. You feel so comfortable against basically anything the Protoss throws at you once you start being able to actually get those units out off your 3 hatches. Maybe even throw down a macro one if you really get the time. But now the Cybercore is finishing up for Zeal. He can start to make tech choices, but his gas count isn't too high. The first ones are probably going to be Mothership Core and obviously the Warp Gate that comes out. Actually, no, he's electing to skip his Mothership Core in favor of Stargate. So this is going to be, I mean, pretty much the fastest Stargate you can get off a Forge Fast expand, realistically, without cutting too much of anything else. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't think PengWin will realize what is happening, but if he did, then he could turn his entire third base into just full attack mode. He obviously can't see what we can see, but
no,
there is the biggest Artosis pylon in the world at the front of this base, right?
You know what? You know what? A Baneling bust right now.
Yeah,
would be mint. In all seriousness, yeah. If you were PengWin and you were had your map packs turned on, you'd be throwing down a Baneling.
Yeah,
next
he would
now.
be doing nothing but attacking. But of course, he doesn't know that, so yeah.
Yeah. The Zealot gets thrown across the map, and PengWin is going to be microing like a literal god tasteless. But actually, Zeal starts microing as well, so he will trade. Not evenly, but at least he trades something. But still, good move for PengWin. That's basically why you don't actually usually do that. But either way, the Oracle is going to be coming out pretty soon for Zeal. A little bit surprised to have seen no scout by PengWin just yet. Usually you want to be scouting at about 7 minutes against the Forge Fast expanding player, and it's being nearly 8 minutes. We do see the Oracle moving across the map, and it's not going to be trying to take any tricksy, jukey positions. So PengWin is going to spot it coming.
I wonder if he'll assume it's a hallucination or something.
Ooh, that could be interesting. He actually
just because he didn't try and stop it, but
he knows it's not now, just because the damage is taken. But one queen isn't really enough to actually cost efficiently push away an Oracle. It'll still get a decent number of kills before it just runs away from the queen. So 5 kills in the Oracle, and he just saunters on out of there, happy as he can be. He can come back anytime he wants, and PengWin's going to have to build a few Sporkles here. The Spire comes down, and this is an interesting choice because he knows Zeal has a Stargate.
Yeah, it's interesting, I guess.
Of course, the little Zealot attack gets cleaned up over here on the left-hand side, and PengWin does have a ton of lings out on the map. And I mean, again, you mentioned this a little earlier on, but he knows that Zeal went for that Stargate, so having confirmed that, seeing the Oracle, the lings are still going to be pretty effective for a while, especially given there's still no robo out for Zeal. Basically, the only thing that deals with the lings okay is the Force Field and the Sentry, and this third base is just not finishing. There's no chance. If he tries to Force Field save it, I think it's even a mistake to move out with the Sentries, because this leaves him vulnerable to
really
this.
He's on?
They're good. They're good.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Okay, yeah, it was okay to move out the Sentries, I guess. Maybe Zeal's a better person than I am. This does deplete his Sentry's Force Field energy quite a bit. But PengWin, I guess, lucky for Zeal, isn't it going to be... Oh, God, just
literally right in time. That could have been a disaster.
Could have been really bad. And this is going to delay the third base as well for a really long time for Zeal, because the creeps can take a while to kind of develop or go away, I guess. PengWin's finished up his Spire now, just waiting on, I guess, some more Overlords, some more when he wants to actually bring those Mutas out, reveal the Spire, and just actually try and punish Zeal.
Yeah, if everything goes according to plan, when he reveals the Spire, it will be in the mineral line.
Yes,
the main, like probably the main.
Yeah,
because what he's done so far, like nothing about this would indicate like a lot of stalkers, and nothing would make him make Phoenixes at this point.
Yeah, there is a hallucinated Phoenix in position scout. Actually, it looks like the Oracle is going to come into the main base for another little bit of harassment. Does see the Spire just on the edge of the
maybe a little too late, because 16 mutas have just popped out.
Yeah, I feel Zeal's army can fight the mutas very easily.
Yeah,
but
they can fight them.
Obviously, the mutas can do so well at hopping between bases, particularly this third base and the natural. It's much of a longer route, especially with the position of the gap in Zeal's wall, for a ground army to take between those bases than it is for an air army. And the mutas are going to go into the main base first. They will find a couple cannons here, but there's enough mutas they can actually just kind of fight them.
Yeah. And they will do indeed just that, leaving this whole line exposed. We'll take out a lot of probes here. Ling's trying to attack the front as well. They're going to go after the pylon.
Yeah, and that pylon depowers everything right here. Another cannon gets taken out. This is so bad for Zeal. Across the map, he's trying to go into a base trade, taking out the natural base of PengWin. PengWin has so much more base to trade. A lot of spines coming up, but the +2 Blink Stalkers are going to take out a lot of them before they complete. However, PengWin is just swarming all over Zeal's bases. There's 5 workers left on the map for Zeal. PengWin can start sending his workers out to take hidden bases. He can start spining up his third base. And he's just got so many lings and mutas pouring across the map. He's going to take down Zeal's bases so quickly.
Yeah, exactly. If the Protoss could just force him to stand there and fight, then he'd probably win, but you can't. Like, you can't make him do that, so it doesn't really matter in the long run. He's just got that such mobility.
Yeah, Zeal's going to take out the main base. He might go for the recall. This is, I think, what PengWin's worried about. So he's trying to take out the Nexus. He's trying to just kind of limit.
Yeah, he does recall back.
Yeah.
To the main.
Recall back to the main.
Yeah, because he does have to save this, obviously.
I mean, he's actually going to go to fight. I don't think PengWin really saw the recall in time, so he loses, I think, a muter or two maybe, but he can just get on out. He can keep on harassing all these units. Zeal has one worker and 5 minerals. With the Lings, yeah. They're going to be tanking a lot of damage, doing a lot of damage, and now Zeal, I don't think he actually has enough. The Guardian Shield helps out a lot against these muters, though, but PengWin actually has an economy behind this. He can actually make these trades, even they're not efficient, and you know what? So long as he cleans up the army, he wins the game. There's no backbone to this. So PengWin keeps on fighting, ties the score up 1-1, and he's gonna stay in this for now.
I mean, he didn't have a choice there, but it's like they say. Fortress for game number 3 of this winners match series. The winner, of course, will go through to the round of 8. Loser of this will have a second chance a little later on tonight in the consolation match. And we have up here on the top right-hand corner of the map, he is the captain of Team My Insanity, our Zerg player, PengWin.
And, of course, his opponent down in the bottom right-hand corner. Losing out to the Mutalist, losing the base trade in the last game. We'll see if he can pull it back to take the 2-1. It is Brawl Esports' yellow Protoss player, Zeal.
And he's going back to the gateway opener here. Not at the ramp this time, but kind of in a defensive position around his mineral line.
Yeah, it's an interesting little probe scouting pattern that Zeal went for there. He actually went up to his 3rd base, up in the kind of like towards where PengWin is, which would, I think the reason for that is I think he was looking for an overlord. If PengWin had sent his first overlord downwards, which would be the typical scouting pattern for a player in the top right. Usually you scout towards your opponent's natural, because if they are taking fast expand, you get the information a little faster. So if PengWin had sent his overlord in the typical scouting pattern, he would have seen that overlord. He would have actually known where PengWin was. So that's a really interesting little trick I haven't seen a player do before. It requires some kind of pretty intimate knowledge of the time it takes an overlord to get places on the map. So nice.
Yeah, good little trick. Didn't pay off this time, but obviously it's a good idea in general. Yeah.
Ooh, PengWin's committing to a fair few Lings here. He's already got 4 out, getting 4 more on the map. No, 6 more on the map. Actually going to be up to 10 Lings there. This has a decent chance to be doing some damage to Zeal. Zeal
it really does.
has Zealot finishing up now. He's going to lose this pylon, depowering his cybernetic core. It's going to delay warp gate for a while, and this is enough Lings to really threaten that Zealot.
It is. And he's not starting a mothership core yet either, so he's making a second Zealot, but I wonder if he's underestimating this a tiny bit.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically sort of what PengWin did in game number 1, where it's just sending the first 4 Lings across the map, which you don't usually do anyway, but then he's got the follow-up Lings behind it. He's going to take out the Zealot, but he did trade out basically all his Lings for it. So I don't know if it's great. He's going to try... No, I thought he was going to try and go for the probe, but as it is, he's actually just going to try and focus on his pylon. But there's not much he can do now that the mothership core is out on the map, up there in the sky. But you know what? I guess PengWin disagrees. This is going to be a big slow Ling commitment here. He's going all in on this, and he gets a surround on the Zealot, which is really big. Without the Zealot to block the wall, he's going to take down the probe as well. And these slow Lings get into the base, but now Zeal is going to send his mothership core to deal with the Lings in the base, and these slow Lings up the top are going to be the slow Lings at the bottom of the natural are going to be blocked from getting in by that Zealot.
Yeah, and they're going to be going after this forge here. I don't know if they'll get it before the mothership core comes in and cleans them up, but there's more reinforcements as well. So eventually they'll just take her down.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get it in the end. Zeal is continuing to produce Zealots here.
He'll have Photon Overcharge in a second, but I think it might be too late.
Photon Overcharge is finished now. The forge does go down. But there's so many, yeah, GG. With no tech, as soon as Focus Nova Charge goes down, you lose that.
Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to support the ASL by hitting the button now.